Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very welcome. Right, today we've got a map which is based on a real-life location, that place being Las Galeras in Dominicana. I'm assuming that is Dominica or the Dominican Republic, but of course different countries have slightly different names depending on where you are in the world, so maybe Dominicana is correct where the creator's from. We've not done the creator on the show before. I have one of their maps on the long list, so it was just a matter of time before they got reviewed anyway. But today's map really popped on the workshop for being one that looked a little bit different, that looked like it might have some very good standards, and certainly has a very interesting looking playing area. So all of those things are sort of things that we as players look out for, and therefore deserves a review. Is it any good? It has definite strengths, that's what I will say. Before we do that though, grab yourself a BonBonBingo card, see if you're any good at playing bingo, check off the memes as we go, and of course you must be very skilled at that daily reminder by now, surely. That's right, all of that practice really does get me to the top of the workshop. No, sorry, the YouTube algorithms. Thanks very much for putting up with my faux pas. Today's map is Cape Caulhorn, The Hills Are Plenty, by batatspamavert. Batatspamavert. Excellent name. Let's have a look at that start square. We have a little bit of flooding on that road there. We'll have a glance at that in the second half of the review. It's not game breaking. Interesting terrain heights. I do like the shape of the terrain on today's map. Then you have very strong resources across the map, which is always nice to see. And then if you have Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, a decent mix of the fish as well. I think all credit to the creator for that too. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, first of all, look at that screenshot. Lovely. It is a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. Recommended is Traffic Manager, and we have a Cape Caulhorn theme mix, which contains a few mixes of the themes. And then, of course, we'll be using the satellite LUT today as well, which is part of the theme mix. A few things to subscribe to, a few slightly unusual things like the Cliffsides pack and the basic slope profiles. We've got a few networks as well. You must subscribe to those, otherwise things will be a little bit not worky for you. So do grab those. But it's not the world's longest list, and we have some good credit going on there as well. Right, I've a slight problem with Catenary Replacer today, which you'll spot with when we get to that point, in that I haven't actually got it active and there are things missing. We'll get there. I'm not marking down the map for that because I think it's something wrong in my settings. Anyway, back on the workshop, BittlBill says, I changed up the LUT, but the theme is perfect for this map. Love the networking you've done. And man, what an awesome buildable area here with awesome ground level views. Heads up, your collection is missing the oak tree located at, and yes, there is a missing oak tree from that collection. Don't think it would make a huge difference. I don't think it's overused, but it is missing from the collection. Other than that, the map collection is awesome for the look you're going for. Do you know what? I can't disagree with much of what BittlBill says there. Also, your rivers are so good, you should be really proud of them. Again, I would say the rivers are good. I have a minor grumble with the rivers, which again we'll get to in the second half of the show, but it is minor and it is kind of tucked away a bit, so it's not a huge problem. Networking, yeah, I like the shape of the networking on the whole, but there is again a minor grumble, and this isn't a very experienced map creator, so they're still learning their trade. So again, minor grumbles are a way of improving your skills and becoming a stronger map maker. In terms of the routes that the highway takes, here you can see we're going to go up a hill in a moment, and there are a couple of the routes that are a little bit steeper than I think structural engineers would have liked. Like in the moment, where we're going up this hill in the moment, it's going to be quite steep, which is going to be a struggle for trucks. And I think maybe some switchbacks or a softer route going up this hill might have been preferable. But all told, the top-down view of this, if you look at it from a top-down view, is pretty strong. and looks very good for gameplay. If you're not that worried about true realism, then this map is going to be right up your path. If you're literally just looking for a map that's going to have a really good central area for building on, this is where the strengths of this map lie, because ground level views, I can't disagree with what that commenter had to say. It's Bill's opinion is BonBon's opinion as well. We've got some awesome ground level views. We've got a very, very strong it's not a flat map, but it's also not stupid in the way that you just cannot build on it either. So yeah, there's lots of credit in terms of the actual layout of the map and the location as well. Now they've gone for this Dominican map, terrain height map. Hang on, we have the intersection marking tool in operation, done to a reasonably good standard. There'll be, again, minor grumbles to follow. Oh, this intersection here, this heads down towards the start square. This looks a bit awkward for me. Looks very steep, especially there you go. The off ramp going up the hill there is a bit on the steep side. Also, when you consider we are at traffic lights, if you're a true realist, imagine being a tanker laden down with fuel trying to get up there from a standing start. Going to be a struggle. This is the bits a little bit flooded, and then there's your start square over there. We'll have a quick glance at that before we get to the asset review about the flooding. But as you can see down there, that's not going to stop any traffic from going through. But if you're worried about flashing icons saying there's a problem, there's going to be flashing icons saying there's a problem. Anyway, we're concentrating on the highways. We'll have a look at the rail in a moment. You can see we have got some nice custom elevated rail assets as well. And next intersection here, we've got these old the profiles as well, very nice there. And again, intersection marking tool not perfectly aligned on this end with the lane markings, and it's probably a bit too janky down at this point here. I appreciate the effort, and I definitely think the merge lane here is the perfect length, giving traffic time to sort itself out and allow traffic to flow in from the side. So that's all good as well. So there's plenty of good, and then the intersection marking tool there just shy of perfect rather than being poor. It is good, and of course good to see the chevrons pointing in the right direction as well. So credit for that too. Again, they do like this asset, don't they? They do like that asset for holding back the soil from tumbling down to the road. I like it as well. I've never used them. I've never felt confident enough in using them. So again, to batatspamavert, having the confidence to use an asset is good. It's good. It's a game. It's about experimentation, and this is stuff that I really should be doing more of myself in my own builds. So maybe I will. Maybe I will lead. I will take your example and not lead by example, but follow by your example. Anyway, the highway then goes off and into this valley. We'll jump onto the rail in a moment. Don't worry, there will be rail coming. If you can hear a racket outside, I've got a bit of a storm going on at the moment. Water pouring against my windows. I'll talk about my windows very briefly later on in the review, because they're kind of relevant to the asset of the day, but we'll get to that in a moment. Absolutely pouring. I don't know if you can hear that. Pouring outside my window. Anyway, onto the rail. The rail, again, true realists will not like this. This is horrifying. But if you're not a true realist, that is very nice. There you go. It's the balance between a Cities Skylines build and a realism build. It's whatever you want to make of it. But yeah, true realists, I should close your eyes for that one. Now, we have got the catenary line suspended in thin air. Now, I have unsubscribed from the catenary replacer for now, just for now, and they are, well, they're floating. And I've seen this before, and I'm not quite sure what I've got to do to get rid of them without the catenary replacer. It's not listed as a requirement. But I'm a little bit baffled, because usually with that catenary replacer they just wouldn't be there anyway, because we are using custom rail assets. I'm confused, I do not know, and nobody's getting marked down on anything today for floating catenary lines, because something weird's happening. In this area here, we have trees underneath the rail. That's right, it's a branch line. Boom, boom. Again, same jokes every single day in a different order. And then we'll be heading off towards the edge of the map. Yeah, they're just they're tucked under there. If you don't have anarchy, you'll have no problems, but they are part of the tree count, so that's why we look at them. Anyway, we'll take an intermission. We'll come back and check the shipping route, which is a little bit chaotic after this.
Fed up with vanilla or ploppable parking lots in your city? Wondering what Bonnie Day's Parking Lots Roads is all about? Then you need BonBonB's Parking Lots tutorial. Click the information button below.
Man, is it pouring outside. Absolutely pouring down. Everybody's in their vehicles, and we've got a fuel crisis at the moment in the UK. I don't know how many are sat at home wondering how they're going to get to work without getting soaked. I do not know. Anyway, shipping routes at Cape Caulhorn by batatspamavert. Get the words out. There are places on the shipping routes where we got shipping triangles, but they are somewhat chaotic. But at least an effort has been made. I think credit for that. Water flow, there isn't an awful lot in the rivers. The rivers are pretty, which I'm a big fan of. Pretty rivers are good. Pretty but plain. I think that's a fair comment for this one. And where the water enters the ocean, there is actually a water spawn point there sucking things away. So actually you can pump and draw on this map as long as you use a little bit of common sense. Good. Right, the map as a whole looks very nice from above. We've got a really good theme mix, which is making it come to life, and loving the shapes of the cliffs and the hills and the tree painting. It's very nicely done. This part of the map over here is very nicely done indeed. Mind the grumble with the water spawn points, although this one's tucked right away in the valley there. The spawn points could be a little bit more polished. There you go. I did say I'd grumble about the rivers. In fact, that'll be the case with any other spawn points that we find. They're all a bit clunky, but that's not really what you're looking for on the map. But if that's one thing that you were hoping for, you're going to be a little disappointed. Like, we've got one over here, and again, this one here, it's a bit clunky. But again, it's a Cities Skylines map rather than a true realists map, so there is that. Looks very nice though, doesn't it? All told, looks very nice. Looks very playable. All told, I think there's credit to be said for that. Interesting shapes and a really nice location. Interesting coastlines. The beaches, again, standard city skylines without going to true realism. A little bit of polish on these beaches I think would add a little bit. And of course I do have my tutorial on how to make more realistic beaches as well. So there is that you can always go to. And so we make our way down to the peninsula. These little offshore islands could do with a little bit more sand on them to make them look a little bit more realistic. But the peninsula is what it's all about. This looks amazing. Now, you are going to need to have the 81 tile mod to unlock to get down to this area if you want to build down here. But if you've got that, this area down here just is... I don't know what I'd do with it, but I do know I'd want to do something down here. It'd be a shame to do a city build and not actually access down to that area. Looks amazing. Now, back to the start square. I did say we'd have a little look at the flooding that's going on down by the river. And if I go out of this camera mode and have a look at in the game mode, you'll see we've got the little flooding icons pop up. This is because they are virtually at water level. So all you want to do is you want to move those nodes up just a fraction, 2 or 3 taps. You won't even notice the height of the road and the flooding will instantly go away. Now, speaking of the start square, we have got, I did mention it, we have got an asset of the day. Here it is. It's the Half Timbered House 6 by Titan, one of the true legends of the game. Now have a quick look above the door there. Anno 1753 to something else. But anyway, Anno 1750. I did say there was some sort of correlation between my windows and the asset of the day. The building that I live in, as you can see here, traffic pouring past at the moment, was built approximately 1750. They don't actually know what year it was built, but it's an old building. It's a listed building. You can't do any changes to it. unless they are like for like, and the soundproofing in the windows is pretty much non-existent. So all the running jokes about sirens and motorbikes and stuff like that, and water hitting my windows, and it's just so loud. Yeah, imagine me living in one of these. My house doesn't look anything like these, but it was built at around the same time. Factoids, very quickly, because factoids. According to this, in the 1980s, Americans spend 4 times as much per year on pet food as they do on baby food. Well, perhaps they've got 4 times as many pets, or perhaps they like eating the pet food. There's an obesity joke there somewhere, isn't there? Half Timbered House number 6 by Titan. Today's asset pack of the day. With that, you get your residential, you get your commercial, you get your office, variations of the same building, so you can actually use them in whatever configuration you like. Anyway, great work from Titan. Great work from you if you are voting on today's map. Thank you very much. Link is in the description and in the I button in the top right corner of your screen. Is this a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. You knew that already. But what do I think of today's map? Well, aesthetically, I think it definitely hits many check marks. It's an interesting shape. We've got a really strong theme mix, got some nice polishing going on. It seems to lack something, though, to take it to. I think that little bit of effort with the beaches and with the water spawn points, just little tiny bits like that could take it to the next level. I'm going to go for a very high 3. It kind of feels like a 4-star map, almost, to me. Detailing on the whole is more than adequate. True realists are going to hate it. I think there's enough credit here to go for a slightly above middle 3, but true realists are going to be screaming for 2 stars for this one. Gameplay potential, pretty playable. Yeah, again, true realists are big. 1 star, completely unplayable. Yeah. I'm going to go low 4. It doesn't feel like it's a true realist map. Cape Caulhorn by batatspamavert is a map that pops off the workshop if you are a fairly newbie player, if you haven't really grabbed the map before and you want to go in with something that just looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. That map, to me, looks like it'd be a lot of fun. And that's why I'm shouting out about it with my voice, which you might hear is back because my asthma seems to have ceased today. I've not done anything different, just got out of bed and I could breathe. But if you're here, you're part of the 20 and out elite, use that word of the day into the comments, score yourself some population points just for fun, and I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What Map series. Have a great day.